Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Gertrude Bosibori for those who don't know me, and today I'll be showing you how I did distressed faux locks on my sister's hair using Sistar straight long braids in color number 1. I used 5 packs in total for this look, which I had already curled them the previous day. My sister had 40 braids on her hair, and each braiding pack gave me 8 sectioned braids in total. I opened up the curl and just fluffed it a little bit. It was easier fluffing it out since the braids were a bit chunky. At the beginning, I wasn't able to pass the whole braid with the crochet, and so I decided to divide the braid into two in like a quarter, 3/4 ratio, so that it will be easier passing it through the hair with the crochet needle. As you can see, the braid on the left is a bit larger or thicker than the one on the right, which was the one I passed through the hair first, and the smaller piece I used it to wrap both her hair and the larger piece together, as you will see later on in the video. I opened the crochet hook and passed it gently through her hair. Then I placed the braid inside the hook area and closed the crochet. It's much easier using smaller sections than thick sections when passing the braid through. The length of the locks you desire to achieve will depend on the length of the braid that's on the left. If you want longer braids, then make the braid on the left longer, and if you want it to be short, then make it short as well. But since my sister didn't really mind any length that I would go with, I just made the braids on the left and right have equal length. Then I just started wrapping the hair, and since the braid is a bit thick, I only wrapped twice around the root area, then I continued wrapping downwards. I did a smooth and a bit tight wrapping so that I'm able to cover her hair, which will be the first base before wrapping the remaining braid back up. If you remember earlier when I mentioned the braids I had divided into two, the smaller braid that I didn't use it before is the one that I'll be using it here, as it will be the one that will help me extend the braid a little bit so that the locks could be longer. I made sure the left side of the braid is much shorter than the right side when adding the piece, and I just twisted the right side like 2 or 3 times to lock the braid together. Then I continued wrapping the hair down. Here I was just checking to see if the braid has the same length as the rest when I start wrapping back up, while the braid on the right was to check if it has enough length to wrap it back up, as that will be the one that help the locks have a distressed look. Once I had reached the length I had wanted, I double checked everything, then I started wrapping the left piece first. This will be the second base, and wrapping it messily and a bit loosely will help the locks have a fuller look when wrapping the third and final piece. My third piece, which was the one I wrapped the hair with, I'm now wrapping it back up, and I did it slightly lightly and a bit tightly in some random areas so that it's not too tight that it doesn't give the distressed look I was going for, or too loose that it can come off easily. Once I reached the end of the braid, I rubbed the lock between my palms to lock everything together and make the whole lock look even and neat. Once again, I passed the larger piece of the braid through the hair with my crochet needle gently and made sure they both have equal lengths, then start wrapping the braid. Just a side note, it's good to have a few extra braids, preferably the ones that have already been curled on the side other than the ones that you actually intend on using for the locks, because as you continue braiding, the hair at the top or at the front of the head will probably require you to add like two or more pieces to reach your desired length and make the locks at the front look uniform with the rest of the locks in terms of length and fullness. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your faux locks, because I added two extra pieces just to make sure that they all have uniform lengths both at the front and at the back. And now I'm on my last braid finally. It actually took me like 8 hours to do everything, because I took like 2.5 hours to section and braid the hair, which I did the previous day, then around 5 or 6 hours to do the locks, which actually wasn't that bad because we had breaks in between and I wasn't in a rush to do them quickly. I actually decided not to lay her edges because I personally find it unnecessary, especially when the locks are still new, but you can do that if you want it. It's just my preference not doing it. And sorry about the lighting. I was recording outside and the sun kept on being covered with the clouds which affected the lighting, so I had to adjust the brightness from time to time, but I still enjoyed doing the hair outside than indoors, especially ones that will take a while to finish. So I'm finally done, and this is how they turned out, and I love how they look. I don't know if it's just me, but using color black makes it look so much better and natural looking, which I loved about this look. You guys tell me what you think about this look. I I think I did quite well considering it's my second attempt doing these locks. And the thing I love about using these braids, the straight synthetic braids, is that they are soft and lightweight and can easily be styled. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video up to this point, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And anything you'd like to ask or say, just leave it down in the comment section and I'll respond to it. And until next time, bye.